Are you ready to turn your career aspirations into a reality? Whether you are feeling incredibly driven and like the high achiever you are, or if you're feeling a little stuck and unable to really see what that future can hold for you and what's possible, or if you're feeling just overwhelmed and exhausted and a little bit like being an ordinary Barbie's okay, you're in the right place. Because no matter how you define success for your career and your professional life is what's going to enable you to give you that direction. That's what we're talking about today, is creating a professional bucket list for you to help you take those things that you've always wanted to do with your career and make it a reality. So whether you're success is a specific title or a role or responsibilities at a corporation, whether it is owning your own business, whether it's being a certain type of coach or consultant or business owner and giving you the success that you want, whatever that means to you based on your internal values, that is what you can put into your professional bucket list. And that is how you create it, because we want you I want you to have an unstoppable, successful journey that's perfectly perfect for you. Hello, friends. I'm Kendra Losee from KendraLosee.com, and you've tuned into the Invisible to Invincible podcast, where passionately driven business owners share their journeys from hidden gems to industry leaders. Together, we'll uncover the secrets, mental shifts, and business strategies that turn hidden gems into undeniable forces. So hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. All right, as I've already said, I'm Kendra Losee. As I've been interviewing different business owners and leaders and what they do, and these incredible women, I have found that I want to be able to talk to you directly. So one of the things that I've incorporated into this podcast is that the first episode of every month is going to be just me. You're going to get me solo talking about insights that I find throughout the month that I found in talking to clients and looking at the industries that I work with and things that I'm noticing as we're moving forward throughout the year. So the first episode of every month, it's me. I'm here. To kick off the new year, one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is creating a professional bucket list. As we were nearing the end of 2023, I started, there's a lot of people who are getting laid off who want to leave their jobs and aren't sure what's next and they aren't sure what they want to do. There's a lot of questions, especially as the world around us is changing so rapidly. There's a lot of people in a specific age group. I'm going to say over 40, although age isn't really the number, isn't the factor. The circumstances around what's happening is the factor. It's people who've been working a long time and they're midway through their career or looking out towards the end of their career. And people are asking themselves, what have they accomplished? What do they still want to accomplish? Has it been worth it? What's their purpose? And all of those questions. I was talking to a friend and they made the comment that they were really excited to see what I was doing because I'm chasing my dream. It was one of those phrases that stopped me in my tracks. And I'll tell you why in a second. The first time that someone said a phrase that stopped me in my tracks and really made me stop and reevaluate where I was in my career, it was about 12 years ago. I was out to dinner with a group of friends, and I happened to mention that I was being interviewed for a chief marketing officer role for a pretty large university in California. And one of my friends, they were talking about it and like it was a very big deal because someone said specifically, you would, this role is something you would have before the age of 40, which is pretty unheard of at that level. Someone else made just a very offhand comment about climbing the corporate ladder and what a good job I've done. That phrase, climbing the corporate ladder, really stuck with me. I went home that night And I thought about it for a while, and I even did some journaling about it, because climbing the corporate ladder had never been a goal of mine. Titles had never been a goal of mine. Having work that challenged me, that made a difference, that impacted the lives of other people, that was a goal of mine. And if I could make great money while I was doing it, even better. But climbing the corporate ladder, like that wasn't what I wanted. And then when I got there, what was there? Just a lot of work and politics and things that I didn't necessarily enjoy doing. The job I'd had basically been killing me, and now I was looking to step into a larger role. I didn't love that. I didn't love how it felt. So what I ended up doing was actually giving myself a demotion at that time and taking a job at a digital agency that gave me a chance to get my hands dirty and relearn the things that I loved about marketing and working with people in a dynamic, interesting environment. So when my friend said that I was chasing my dream, it stuck with me, because I stopped later when I was thinking about it, and it just kept coming back to me. You are chasing your dream. And I had to ask myself, am I? Is this my dream? Am I chasing it? And you know what? It is. The work I'm doing now has absolutely become my dream. It's aligned with my values, being able to help people show up and share their stories and share what they do with confidence, with clarity, with consistency. I absolutely love. And that is a dream worth having. That is something that's worth chasing. You know, I spent last year developing my business. I spent last year laying the groundwork for my business. I spent last year focusing on my health in order to be able to lay the groundwork. That was the second part of that comment that caught me, is, am I chasing my dream, or am I just letting it happen and seeing what plays out? And that's never been me. I've never been someone that's not high achieving, that's not actively pursuing and chasing what I want in every way I can. The last year and a half, my health really held me back, and I fought through it, and I learned to find help. I did a lot of research and found ways to help and found people who can help me. And I did it. In 2022, I gained 70 pounds and felt terrible and ended up with COVID for 5 months, which did not help my health. In 2023, I found the doctors that can help, did the healing work I needed to do, and I lost all of that weight. Now, as I continue to feel better, I found that I've done all that foundational work. I have the energy to chase my dream, and I have the energy to help you chase yours. So let's talk about a professional bucket list. I told you that story because I think it's really important to understand your values, what's most important to you. And it's incredibly important to also understand how to turn those dreams that you want to chase, those dreams that you want to make reality, into actually turn them into reality, to make yourself define what success looks like and what you want to accomplish between now and the end of your career. And maybe even after, like, what do you want to do? One of the things that I did this the first time when I was 23 and had just been laid off. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to find a job I wanted, and I wasn't sure if what I'd been doing was really what I wanted to do. So I did a bunch of research and read some books and found this idea that became the spark for having a professional life bucket list. What that meant is taking everything that I wanted and actually placing it in different decades or different parts of my life. One of the things that original list included was writing a book. Another thing that original list included was When I retired, I wanted to teach. That list included writing multiple books, starting my own business. It included many dreams that I had dropped in as a very naive 23-year-old. But I've kept that list and I refined it. So when I started teaching in my 30s at a university, I almost honestly said no when I was offered teaching because I was like, no, I'm not supposed to do that till I retire. I'm so glad I did because it taught me so much about myself. So when you define your bucket list and when you start writing down the ideas of things that you want to accomplish, you put that into and you break it into sections of where it can fall in your life, it starts to become a map for yourself. When you go back and look at the things that you've accomplished, the things that you have enjoyed the most, and understanding what work motivates you and really lights you up, and understanding how you can do more of that and putting it into your bucket list, it can be so inspiring and motivating. Like I said, if you're feeling stuck, it can help you. If you're having trouble figuring out what you want to do next, or what direction do you want to go, or what you want to accomplish, having a bucket list for your professional life can help. Like I said, I created a workbook on this because I wanted to combine mindset with some of the things that I have learned and to help people go from feeling stuck or trying to figure out what's next into creating a plan and to building that next step. There's a workbook that you can find on my website that outlines this. And it gives you the step-by-step and how to create your professional life bucket list. And I called it Wildly Creative and Wholeheartedly Driven, your guide to creating a bucket list, because I want you to get creative, to throw those big ideas on the wall and see what sticks, how they fit. You never know. And that can be the most exciting part about it. Whether you're feeling stuck or whether you're feeling, like I said, like an ordinary Barbie, or you're feeling like you're the high achiever and passionate leader you are, start writing your ideas down. Put them in a plan. Start putting those down so that you can start focusing on accomplishing them. Because each and every single one of us defines success in a unique way. What my vision for success and my values that feed into my feelings of success are going to be completely different than yours. So what does that mean for you? Well, you have to define it. You know, some people use inspiration boards and vision boards, and I do like those because I'm a very visual person, but I've had vision boards that just sat on a wall or sat in a closet or sat behind a door, and they don't necessarily do things for you unless you start to put those wishes and those ideas into action. Unless you start to create a plan for one of those or some of those or all of those. If you want to travel the world and work from all over, great. What do you need to do that? Put that on your bucket list. One of the things that I always wanted to do was live in another country. And I will. The time just hasn't been right yet. But what do I need to do in order to make that happen? I'm making those steps right now. So one of the things that I'm going to give you a few tips for creating your professional bucket list. And one of the things that I think that will help a lot is, like I said, go back to what you enjoy doing the most. What motivates you? Where do you get those feelings and where do you see yourself being the most motivated? What does that sound like? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And write it down. Start reminding yourself of the things you've accomplished and the things that you've already done in your life that are pretty incredible. That will help start to give you that motivation and that vision for what's to come and what else you want to do. Like I said, the workbook as you go through it will help you break those down into starting to pick the top ones and starting to put that plan together for what that can look like and how you can turn that into a reality. And you can take those steps to keep going. But it starts with understanding what that means to you and understanding what that looks like and writing it down and documenting it. So whether you are feeling wildly creative and wholeheartedly driven, it's time to turn your wish list into a bucket list and actually take those dreams and those ideas and things that you might have always had in the back of your mind that would be cool to do and prioritize them. Actually ground them with your values and your priorities and create that vision for yourself. Then start turning them into goals and making them SMART goals that are specific and measurable and have deadlines and things that you can work towards. And you can keep that bucket list near you to help you focus on the big picture, even as you're working on the detailed work and working on getting it done. Just doing that helps have that sense of purpose. So you're not just feeling like you're running in circles. You are chasing dreams. You are making those dreams a reality. And whether climbing the corporate ladder is on your bucket list or not, or building your own business and being your own boss, whatever it is, there's no wrong answer because you will have defined what success means to you. You will have created a commitment by mapping short-term goals in order to make those long-term accomplishments. You want to make sure that you capture it all. So when you go to create your bucket list, you can do this on your own, or you can download the guide from kendralosee.com and walk yourself through it. It's designed to go through in about an hour. You can take as little or as much time as you want. It's your future. It's your bucket list. But you can use it to get wildly creative. Help become wholeheartedly driven if you're not already. Because no one wants to settle for ordinary. And no one wants to keep running their career on other people's terms. This is your professional life. So what are you going to do to make the most of it? I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. It's going to be exciting. I'm sure it already is, let's be clear, but it's going to be exciting. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, at kendralosee.com, you can find the workbook for the bucket list, to create your own bucket list. And you can also find our business and visibility coaching services. And I want to specify this, you can see and learn more about the upcoming Invisible to Invincible Lab, which is a mindset and marketing course designed to bring clarity, confidence, and consistency to how you and your business show up. We are all about high-achieving entrepreneurs guiding you to success, both in your business and in life, because it is never too late to make your business and career work for you, not the other way around. Until next week, I'm Kendra Losee. Thank you.